Hey, hello, this is Andrea, and today is Friday, June 26th, 2020. I almost forgot what month it was. July is next week. Anyway, what are you up to today? What's new? What's new? My sister hates when I say that, because we're all, like quarantined, Anyway, so Bobby and Dave are supposed to come over tomorrow for a backyard barbecue, and we're starting to set up for that. Like, I swept off the back patio, the back deck, and we're going to put, there's one table out there, a little square table. We're going to put a long rectangle table too, and Bobby and Dave are going to be on one end with their masks on, and we're going to be on the other end with our masks on. I know we're going to have two sets of food. And, yeah. We're going to take our masks off while we eat, but
No, I'm going to eat through my mask.
Bob says he's going to eat through his mask, so I'm not really sure. That's going to be a mess if he does that. But I'm making a cake tonight for tomorrow. And most of the time, I'd say like 60% of the time, I bake a cake from scratch. But when I don't, I use Duncan Hines cake mix because it's very moist, to me at least. I think it's the best. I think it's the best chocolate cake mix that I've found. Or is it the best chocolate cake mix around? I don't know. There's probably something better, but this is what I'm used to using. So I have that in the oven, and I have it in two 9-inch round pans. And I used this, so usually, like it says for the pan it says, oh for goodness sake, it says grease the sides and bottoms of pan and flour lightly. But last week Bob accidentally bought this baking spray instead of the spray that you use on a frying pan, and this is spray with flour. So I decided to try this. It didn't look right, I will tell you that. It looked gloppy. It looked like gloppy stuff, but I'm trying it out. See how it works. I shook it. I used it all around the pan. Hopefully the cake will come out okay. If it doesn't, I could just make a trifle. That's the secret, okay? If you don't... You don't have to have a trifle dish. You can have a nice little glass dish. It's nice to have a glass dish, okay, or a glass bowl, if you have to make a trifle. You cut up the pieces of cake and you layer it in there with other things. Like you can layer it with yogurt or frosting, fruit, like cherries, pudding. Yeah, pudding is really good to put in there. You just layer it with a bunch of different stuff. So there's set trifles, that you can look at online. But anyway, so yeah, if it doesn't come out right, it'll be a trifle. So nobody's gonna care. It's a A, number one, either way, right? So I think we're having burgers tomorrow.
We're having burger, steak.
Steak? Oh, did you get little beef cubes or something?
Gotta be beef cubes. I gotta do that.
He's making kebabs. He's being very, what is that when you want to do a lot of things?
Ambitious.
He's being very ambitious. Okay. I saw there were sausages in there too. Are those for tomorrow?
I bought them before.
Oh, okay. Because we don't need them for tomorrow. Okay, he's making potato salad. He already cooked the potatoes tonight. And I'm going to make deviled eggs because remember what I said. What I said about deviled eggs. They cannot be beat. They cannot be beat. Because you have to have a raw egg to beat it. Anyway. Okay, look, the cake came out of the oven. It has to cool there for 15 minutes. And then when it's done cooling, I take it out and put it on those little racks there. And then I will slice the top off of one of them, and I will frost them, put them together, and put them on a little thing, Well, yes, I will wash my hands before I do it. There I go scratching my head again. You get itchy. As soon as you get on a camera, you start getting itchy. You're touching your face. You don't know what you're doing. I started reading Stephen King different seasons. I forgot the first story is Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. So, yeah, the first night I was reading that, I was reading about, some kind of violent gang thing that happens allegedly in prison sometimes. Allegedly. I don't know firsthand.
I'm sure it just happens that way in the movies.
It's just in the movies. Anyway, I'm not going to say, but, I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. So, yeah. I was like, oh, this is pleasant. I found a couple holes in that part of the story, but then I thought, this is going to sound terrible. Okay, I take notes when I read. And, even if it's just a note to say, I started this book on this day and I finished it on that day. But I'll write down if there's a word that I learned, that I didn't know before, or if there's a quote that I liked, I'll write it down in a little booklet that I keep. Or I'll say what I thought about different plot lines or whatever. But, the scene with the straight razor, there's two things that I thought were wrong with that, but I'm not going to go into it here because it would be very graphic and very violent, and yeah, you don't want to know. Unless you want to know, then maybe I'll tell you personally. I shouldn't offer that service. This is not a direct quote service. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't understand what I'm saying. Okay, the cake is cooled off. I've got the two halves here, two pieces. I got that piece and this piece. I figured I'll chat with you while I'm doing this. So I decide which one I like better for the top. And, let's see. Neither of them's really that great for the top, but I'll use I'll use this one for the top. Look, it came out really weird. I don't think I got the cake even in the batter even in the... I usually drop the pan over and over again to spread it out, but I only did it a couple times. So what I do is, I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, this is just my way to do it, is I use a bread knife. So bread knives have... they either have this kind of serrating, or they'll have the kind that looks like big squares. And I just kind of do I just kind of go straight across like that. So, well, in a sawing motion. I like a big knife like this because then I can see on both sides. I don't know if you can tell. I can see on both sides where the knife is. I'm just going to take that piece off and put it on a little plate I have over there. And so it doesn't look like I have very much crumbs here. I just have a couple on the edge there. Alright, I'm a little bit of a fanatic about the way I do cakes. So, I have this little plate here. It's just a plastic plate. I have like a lid that goes over it. So, I'm going to put this on here. Actually, I'll put it back up here so you can see it better. So I don't have the best. So I got some crumbs in here. Hold on. I'm laughing at myself. Alright. So then I'm going to open the frosting. I'm using, let's see, Duncan Hines creamy chocolate frosting. So I take a little butter knife and I stir this around. I like to get it nice and nice and stirred up. See how it looks now? It's all nice and stirred up. Put this over here, out of the way. Then I take a frosting knife. I know most people don't have a frosting knife, but I do. And sometimes my husband uses it for things I don't approve of. Do you believe that? It should only be used for frosting the cake. So, what I do is, I plop it in the middle and out to the edge, going all the way around like this. So I'll plop some here and spread. If it starts pulling, I don't do anything. I don't let it pull, okay? It's gonna look like a lot. So I'm just gonna turn this. I'm just gonna keep putting it on there and pulling it towards me. And I turn it some more. This is my favorite style of cake, is a 2-layer cake. Well, I've never made more than 2 layers. I'm going to bring some more to the edge here. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put some, well, here's what it looks like so far. It doesn't really matter what it looks like because it could be in between the thing, but I'm going to put it on the edges here, like so. Right here and here and here. Go all the way around with that. My son's gaming in the other room, so if you hear anything, he's talking to his teammates on the game. And so here's what it looks like now. Now I'm going to put the second part on top. So that's what it looks like so far. Now what I'm going to do is, I need a napkin. I'm going to take frosting and I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it around the edge this way. I'm just showing you with my hand right now, but I'm going to keep pulling it this way, all the way around. I don't do the top yet, I do the side next. So, see, I get about that much. It's not a lot.
I use mine during that attempt to try and save it.
I should talk about something, but I'm not good at doing 2 things at the same time. I haven't had cake in a long time. Well, I had, the other day I did have some Danish because I told Bob I was hungry for Danish and he bought some at the store for me. Had raspberry Danish. Well, not just me. It was out here for everybody. But I have not had chocolate cake in a long time, and I do like me some chocolate cake. I loves me some chocolate cake. So what else to talk about? I'm almost back at the beginning. This is gonna be so nice tomorrow. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the top that I did for the other thing, but I have less frosting now, see? But you don't need as much on the top. So I start at the top and I come down like this. Put that down. I like to just get it on there and then fill in the empty spaces afterwards. If you're frosting it and stuff's pulling up, it's probably because the cake is warm. Like, this cake is not warm. It's completely cold now. It's completely room temperature. So nothing's coming up when I frost it. So I've gone all the way around now. I'm just going to fill in some of this other stuff here. And then you can just bring up some edges that are, sometimes there's extra just sitting there that you can spread around. I like to go in a flat gliding motion. So I have a little bit of an empty space here. I don't know if you can tell, but that's cake there. It's not frosting. I have some frosting here, so I'm just going to push it up over there. See if I can get some extra on the corners and push it over there. And there it is, it's frosted. Now if I wanted to, I could put a pattern into it. I don't always, but sometimes if there's a lot of frosting on here, I'll do this thing where you go like this all the way around, and you keep going up till you're up at the top. Now I'm doing it. Anyway, I don't really feel like doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. Well, I'm not going to do the rest of that, but yes, that's how you do it. That's how I do it. And what I used to do was, because I used to get frosting all on the plate part, is I used to put like wax paper, little pieces of wax paper around the edge and then pull it out. But I don't have to do that anymore. So anyway, that is the chocolate cake. And I'll let you know how it tastes tomorrow. Well, here, I'm going to hold it up a little. How does that look? Well, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.